Welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast, where our mission is to educate and empower you to make the most informed, rational, and productive financial decisions. Hosted by certified financial planner, author, and chartered investment manager Michael Isbister, you'll go behind the scenes to uncover the tips and strategies to help you invest smarter, optimize your retirement income, and reduce the amount of tax you pay. Michael is an investment advisor with Fundamental Wealth, a trade name of Harbourfront Wealth Management, an IROC dealer. And now, here's your host, Michael Isbister.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss a checklist for pre-retirees who are within the next 5 years of retirement. Specifically, I'm going to chat about 2 items you should review each year as you near retirement, the balance between worrying about running out of money versus leaving a mattress full of it, why you should consider compounding your healthy choices, the importance of a war chest of low-risk, fixed income investments, the key drawback of a balanced fund in retirement, what retirement feels like, the importance of hiring an advisor team who will be there for the long haul and not retire the same time you plan to retire. And lastly, as always, a few action items for you to consider. If you're listening to this podcast, chances are you've spent the last 20 plus years diligently saving for retirement. Your years of hard work and consistency have now put you into a position so now you can comfortably retire in the next 5 years, assuming your current trajectory. These 5 years can pass by quickly, and to be fair, the final stages of retirement prep in these 5 years, both emotionally and financially, will set you up for a truly fulfilling next chapter of your life. Today, I want to dive into some of these checklist items to better prepare you when the time comes to start enjoying every day like it's Saturday. Let's start at 5 years out from retirement. So first and foremost is maintaining a healthy lifestyle. All the money in the world cannot give you your health. So if you are 5 years out from retirement, give some thought to your daily routine and see if you can add a few healthy choices throughout the day. It can start as small as a 5 or even 10-minute walk if you're able to. Just as your investment accounts have benefited from small, incremental investments compounded over time, so it is true when you apply the same incremental compounding benefits of a healthy lifestyle. At the end of the day, you have worked hard to make it here, and staying healthy will ensure you are around to continue enjoying what you've prepared so long to achieve. Second is to review your mortgage, loans, and lines of credit. If you're able, consider making accelerated payments towards any outstanding debt to try to have these settled by the time you reach retirement. Eliminating or reducing your fixed expenses alleviates your monthly budget on restrictive payments and allows you to spend more time enjoying your retirement, especially those first few years in retirement that tend to be the most expensive. With that out of the way, having access to debt such as a home equity line of credit can be an asset in retirement. It can act as a safety net or emergency fund, can be used to finance renovations or a car purchase, and gives you the option to delay withdrawing money out of your investments in the event there's a market drawdown, or there are significant tax consequences in doing so. Where I'm going with this is that it can make some sense to establish this type of secured debt before you retire and your income stops. This is because it may be difficult to access debt solutions when you don't have a regular stream of income. Again, this suggestion is all about keeping your options open, because when you have access to debt, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay, so next, you're within 4 years of retirement now. First, it's time to dig out that investment statement and see how your money is being invested. Ultimately, as you near retirement, you have to start thinking in terms of how am I going to turn this into an income? Versus the past where you likely thought, how do I grow this as much as possible? This is a change of mindset for most clients. but the truth is your risk runway is starting to shorten. In advisor speak, we call this your time horizon, and it is considered a vital part of the know your client criteria. Now, this should be reviewed annually, so don't just wait until you're 4 years out. So have a look at your portfolio and then complete a risk profile questionnaire. These can be found online or with your current advisor. I'll include a copy of an investor risk profile questionnaire from Vanguard Canada in the show notes as a reference. With that complete, does the current level of risk in your portfolio align with your new risk profile as you near retirement? Second tip, when you're 4 years out from retirement, is more of a continuation of understanding your risk and timeline. Now that you know your risk tolerance, it's time to build a retirement income plan that will help fund your retirement when the income tap gets turned on. Here, I suggest building a war chest of fixed income for the first few years of your retirement. This can include things like cash, high-interest savings accounts, GICs, bonds, alternative investments, and more. Depending on your situation, 1, 2, or even 3 years of retirement income not impacted by market fluctuations could be a valuable tool in your retirement toolkit. This would help to ensure you could shift withdrawals from your equity accounts and into more stable assets to weather the storm in a down market. Now, for some of you who have always invested in a balanced fund, this might be a bit of a wake-up call. See, if all of your eggs are in the same balanced fund basket, it is not possible to pinpoint which asset class you want to withdraw from when the market goes down. Having a properly constructed portfolio that allows for these types of retirement income planning strategies will help to ensure a more suitable income and help mitigate large drawdowns in your investments during turbulent markets. All right, so now you're 3 years out from retirement. Okay, so next up, while you still have a regular income, is to consider what expenses should be tackled now before you retire. First up is renovations. If you have decided to stay in your current residence, now is a great time to consider doing those upgrades so they can be paid for while you're still working. There will always be this list of upgrades, changes, honey-do lists, and endless tinkering awaiting you in your retirement years, there is no doubt. But consider checking the box on a few of these bigger ticket items now while you're still working. Another big ticket item that should be discussed is vehicles. But as with the renovations, be sure to keep things within reason. Vehicles are expensive, cost a lot to maintain and insure, and lose their value over time. So don't burden yourself if it's not in your budget and your retirement plan. While you're on this train of thought, think about what things will look like 5 years after you retire. If you are married or common law, will you still need 2 vehicles? Or does it make more sense to have one? Having this conversation now may impact the decisions you make on what vehicle to purchase today or not purchase. Okay, so now only 2 years left. It's time to request a Canadian pension plan estimate. You can do this by submitting a paper application or by creating a My Service Canada account. Choosing a CPP start date is a substantial decision that should not be taken lightly. Some Canadians may need to take this as early as 60 if they don't have the means to create another retirement income, while others may consider delaying until 70 if they have both the investment means and the health to do so. Once you receive your CPP estimate, build out a few scenarios with your financial planner to ensure you choose the optimal start date for you and your family's circumstances. Knowing these amounts will give you a firm understanding on the timing and amount of money that will need to come from your investments to fill the retirement income gap. When it comes to filling this cash flow gap, you'll again want to stress test your finances to ensure you can spend as much as you would like without running out of money. Taking things a step further, you also don't want to die with a bunch of money in your mattress. This is where a process called income guardrails can come into play. Now, most of you may have heard of something called the safe withdrawal rate. In the simplest terms, it tells an investor what fixed percentage of their assets they can withdraw with the presumption that they will not fully erode their portfolio. So in numbers, if you have $1 million in a portfolio and a safe withdrawal rate is, say, 4%, this means that you could withdraw $40,000 a year without factoring in tax, and you can be reasonably certain you wouldn't run out of money. However, life tends to not boil itself down to a fixed percentage. This is where the income guardrail approach can provide another lens to view your retirement income withdrawals. In English, the guardrail approach to retirement income planning enables an investor to make reasonable changes to their monthly income within certain limits. When things are good, the retiree may end up getting a raise. If investments are down, an income reduction may be needed in the short term. Albeit, this is a much more involved process that should be utilized with a professional who fully understands your circumstances. It also requires an investor to be willing to make changes, potentially from a lifestyle point of view, to ensure your retirement income stays on track. I'll drop a PDF copy of this income guardrail and what it looks like in the show notes. I have to stress, this is by no means a replacement for a comprehensive retirement plan. The guardrail approach is merely a tool in our financial planning toolbox that can help us better illustrate a responsive retirement income plan to clients. Okay, so now you're only 1 year out. Now that you're only 1 year out, be sure to sharpen your pencil and finalize that retirement budget. Generally, we find that retirees tend to spend a bit more money in the first few years as they start to experience those bucket list trips and get used to their new lifestyle, and this is normal. With this fact, this is an important reason to ensure you have your retirement income plan ironed out a few years in advance. Again, this includes that war chest of bonds and cash and high interest savings I chatted about. And you have this set aside purposely to enjoy those first few years of retirement without worrying about the markets, what might happen, and what they might do in the short term. Next up, for those of you with a pension, you need to submit your retirement date to your employer. You will receive a retirement package that will outline your pension benefit, health benefits, and more. If you have a defined benefit pension, i.e., one of those ones that pays you a monthly pension, you'll need to work through your options, including understand the pension benefit versus commuted value, which is a lump sum, the percentage of benefit that could be allocated to a surviving spouse, and the potential retirement allowances and more. If you have a defined contribution plan, you'll need to decide whether to manage the nest egg yourself or hire a professional certified financial planner to do the heavy lifting. Okay, day 0, you're retired. First off, congratulations. Retirement is another aspect of life that you really need to experience to truly understand the feeling. So take a moment, reflect on where you have been, and rejoice in this next chapter of your life, knowing you've laid a strong foundation through your hard work and dedication. Now, I'll admit, I have never retired before, so it can be difficult to grasp the true emotional aspect of what retirement really feels like. However, I've been fortunate enough to help many families walk this 5 years leading up to and into retirement. I can say that through those conversations, I have gained a true respect and understanding of what it means to retire. How it can make one excited to say goodbye to the grind, nervous that they'll lose their friendships, elated they get to spend more time doing what they love, anxious that they will be bored, and fulfilled in a life's work ending as all things do. I'm here to tell you that all of these things that you are feeling are normal. So embrace the unknown and do your best to meet the challenges in your life with an open mind and a growth mindset. All right, so there you have it. How to prepare yourself when you are within 5 years of retirement. Now, just a quick note on this list. By no means am I suggesting you need to wait to complete any of these steps, nor is this list complete. There are so many other aspects that go into your personal retirement journey that would be near impossible to discuss all of them without completely boring you to death. I promise to keep up the retirement focus of this podcast to help you continue to prepare for your retirement and enjoy those retirement years. I always like to say that each and every financial decision we make in our lives is both an emotional and has an analytic framework. What might make the most sense from a dollar and cents perspective may leave you feeling unfulfilled. I will continue to help you navigate both sides of this coin to help you make the most informed, impactful decisions possible. All right, so action items for today's episode. First off, go chat with a few retirees to get their perspective on things. What worked, what didn't work, what they would have changed, and what has been the most rewarding. I find that a lot of perspective in life comes from conversations with those that we love and respect. So pick a few friends and family members that you want to emulate and get their perspective for those early years of retirement. Second, plan, and then plan some more. Retirement is a distant goal in the beginning and gradually creeps up over time. When you hit the tipping point and you're within those pivotal 5 years until retirement, it's time to really start putting things together. If you are a DIY investor, be sure you don't have any blind spots in your planning prep that could be really detrimental over the long run. Read, research, and then read and research some more. If you are in the camp that believes retirement is too important to go alone, and you see the value in professional advice, engage with a certified financial planner early and often. Further to this point, consider the age of the advisor you're choosing to hire. With the average age of an advisor in Canada being nearly 60, you should consider aligning yourself with an advisor who either A, is older and has a succession plan in place that includes young professionals, or B, a younger professional advisor with experience and a team who will be able to see you fully through your retirement journey. And lastly, enjoy the time you have. I hate to leave things on a negative note, but this is the reality of life. And it can sting. See, at age 65, my grandfather retired after a lifetime of hard work supporting his wife and his 5 children. Months later, he passed away from an unexpected heart attack. So enjoy all the little moments with your family, your children, your grandchildren, and your friends. And if you have the means to retire now versus accumulating more money, just remember you can't take it with you when you leave. Okay, so that'll do it for today's episode. Let me know if there are other, key considerations for pre-retirees as they approach retirement that you want to hear about. It could be financial or non-financial, so just let me know. For all the links and resources I've mentioned in this podcast, please check out the show notes or visit retiringcanada.ca. Be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. The link can also be found in the show notes. And hey, when it comes to your retirement, don't take chances. Make a plan so you can retire with confidence.
All comments are of a general nature and should not be relied upon as individual advice. The views and opinions expressed in this commentary may not necessarily reflect those of Harbourfront Wealth Management. While every attempt is made to ensure accuracy, facts and figures are not guaranteed. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing or tax advice. Please seek advice from your accountant regarding anything raised in the content of the podcast regarding your individual tax situation. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.